Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Travel Mole COVID broadcasts. And I'm delighted to say this morning, all the way from Bournemouth, we have Jacqui Landen from Protected Trust Services. Good morning, Jacqui.
Morning, Graham. How are you?
Not too bad. It's a bit breezy here.
No, same here. It's blowing a hoolie.
Jacqui, Protected Trust Services, obviously getting much better known in the last 18 months. Perhaps you can tell our audience, people that will be listening to this, exactly what is Protected Trust Services? What do you offer to clients?
What we've built is we've got our own bespoke technology which we build in-house. It's particularly for travel. We support all different travel companies, travel agents, high street travel agents, independent home workers, tour operators, flight-only specialists, and in essence, our tech completely links with the independent trust account. So we're the only solution that reconciles daily as well, which allows people to completely know where their business is. A consumer, a supplier, or a member, they can all literally track their money in real time, which is a huge USP, and people are seeing the value of that, especially with COVID. And they also saw it with the Thomas Cook collapse. But also we're an ATOL franchise, so people can get their ATOLs through us, or PTS members, we can help them to get their ATOL. The merchant services we do, insurance, currency hedging. So in essence, we built a solution so that we're a one-stop shop for a travel business. And our mission is really that the travel business owners and staff can concentrate on sales, marketing, build their business, and know that we're doing everything behind the scenes to support them.
I presume that the USP really, though, is this sort of unique piece of software that enables people to know where their money is, because during this COVID crisis, obviously there's been a lot of adverse publicity against some companies that have been very slow to return monies for cancelled holidays, etc. Is that something that you feel strongly about?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why so many people are joining us, they want control of their business. They want the transparency, and everything is transparent with PTS, and they have complete control. So say, for instance, a supplier refunds today, it may take 24 hours to clear, depending on that supplier. But the second it hits the booking reference number, the travel agent, the travel business member, that's their money to administer, to tell us what to do with that. And so it can be back with the consumer in 24 hours, which is huge, especially at the moment for client relation management, for consumers who want to know what's going on with their money. We can support our members and say, look, this is where your money is. This is where it is. It's in trust, or it's with this person. It's all been dealt with in a fit and proper manner. And it's totally traceable, which gives not just the consumers peace of mind, it's the travel businesses, the travel business owners.
So just to clarify, if I'd have paid for a holiday, say in Greece at the end of September, and it's now cancelled, anybody using your services, they would be able to get, a consumer will be able to get their money back pretty promptly.
Pretty promptly, yeah. Absolutely. Depends. I mean, we've definitely been hit by airlines, that's for sure, but there's no point saying any different to that. But in fairness, airlines, most of the flight consolidators we're working with have been amazing, really, truly amazing. And consumers, because we can prove to them where their money is, they're far more appeased. You know, the money is coming back. We can show them exactly the trace of money, which gives them peace of mind straight away. That's been a massive thing for our members to be able to support them with. But most people, in fairness, know they've got their monies back pretty quickly.
Cool. And it is one of the things about Protected Trust Services, PTS, is increasingly, would you say that increasingly it's important for the consumer to recognise that brand? So if I go to a travel agent or to a home worker or whatever it is, and they're displaying the PTS brand, then immediately I would feel comfortable about the fact that my money is safe.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we have, with all our members, we ask them to put that on their terms and conditions. We are contacted by consumers substantially more in the past 18 months as well, to the point we've actually just taken on a new member of staff just to deal with consumer inquiries, just to help consumers, well, not help, but just confirm their questions, which is helping the members as well and the consumers. I think also COVID-19 is really opened consumers' minds up to how they should be able to trace their money in travel. That's definitely been massively raised above the parapet. I think there was always an assumption by consumers that they walk into a travel agent, they pay their money over, and that travel agent then directly pays the hotel and the airline, which can be the case outside of PTS, of course, but it's not generally always the case, as we know. So become more savvy about that.
I think that there was a huge debate maybe in the earlier part of COVID, maybe 2 months, 8 weeks ago, when various individuals got involved on Travel Mole and lots of other press, where they were saying that it was almost immoral that people couldn't get their money back, and that the travel industry, in fact, was running its cash flow on the back of consumer money, and that they'd actually spent it before they'd used it. I presume that, coupled with the Thomas Cook debacle late last year, that's in many respects has been, if you like, fertile ground for you to expand your business. Sounds an awful negative, really, but that's the reality.
Yeah, I think also people had a misconception about trust accounts, and obviously where travel businesses had 3 different options of bonding and financial failure insurance and independent trust accounts and insurance, that we were the less liked version. And I think what's happened is, where we've always raised the pom-poms up and said, no, it's the safest version, it's the best version, it's taken 2 big crises, and this one, an incredibly big crisis, to highlight the strength of the PTS solution and the benefit of joining. So yes, it's fertile ground, but it's also accelerated the education, the positives of it. I think by it being such negative grounds at the moment, people are now in a position of, I get it. I get why it is positive. So it's definitely helped.
Where do you stand? I mean, this is an opinion piece as well. Where do you think that the other larger bodies in the travel industry, like ABTA, do you think that they've performed well in this crisis in terms of their advice for consumers and advice for their members?
I think it's a really desperate time for the industry. I think everyone's trying to do the best they can do. I think I've got a lot of time for ABTA, actually. John Duval, we know him well, and I think everyone at ABTA is really trying their best. I think fundamentally, you're kicking a problem down the road with refund credit notes. I think the clarity. We're seeing a lot of consumers who aren't even PTS members coming to us with vouchers and different things that aren't refund credit notes, that aren't, they're not adhering to what the rules of a refund credit. Refund credit notes have always been there. They're not new. They've always been there as option 2. It's always been there. I think the issue is there's a lot of travel businesses that we've spoken to many, and you see it in the industry, that their model worked under those bigger consortiums or brands as long as the music didn't stop, or the music stopped. And so they're on a sticky wicket of, do they support those people and try and get them through it? Quite rightly, yes. But at what cost? Because it can't be to the cost of the consumer. And fundamentally, you either borrow money from a bank or you borrow money from a consumer. And if a company is insolvent, there's a real disparity between people who were in trouble before COVID-19 and COVID-19 is pushing them over the edge, or people that truly COVID-19 is absolutely obliterating. And there's a difference between those two companies, and I don't think there's any clarity with that. So to be clear, I think they're doing the best they can do in a very, very difficult situation for their members, as in travel companies and members of theirs.
Well, you spoke about when the music stops and the travel industry for the last, ups and downs, Thomas Cook, et cetera, one or two large names, low cost, going down the pan. But essentially over the last 10 to 15 years, the travel industry has expanded hugely, massively. And when the music stops, do you think that the foundations on which the travel industry has grown so rapidly were rather shaky, and that post-COVID, they might be better?
I think people will learn how fragile their businesses were before COVID, because if you are ever building any company, not just a travel business, on working capital, using consumer money as working capital, you've got very weak foundations to be able to get through something like COVID. And let's be fair, COVID, fingers crossed, is probably the one pandemic we're going to have in 100 years. Could it happen again? Sadly, none of us know. But it's huge, and hopefully it is once in 100 years something like this will happen. But something else will happen, whether it's the ash cloud or another financial crash or 9/11 or whatever it might be. There is always something that will happen to the travel industry. And you must be able to look at your business and have a contingency of, if the music stops, can I get through it? And that, I think, is where this has raised awareness to people of, my business wasn't actually that strong beforehand, and I need to strengthen my position to move forward.
Okay. Now you speak about other services that you offer. I like it, almost like a turnkey service to agents and operators and to all sorts of the businesses in the travel industry. Where is your business going, and what's the next stage? Is it to get this consumer recognition everywhere, so that, in other words, if I am an agent and I'm not PTS, then not so good? Or are you thinking about expanding into other services?
We're definitely.
Or have you got enough to do at the moment anyway?
There is a lot to do, but we've taken on another 4 members for the team anyway in the past 4 months. So we've got another one joining in October. We've taken on another 3 have already started with us in July and August. So the team's growing to deal with the demand and the size of PTS. We're definitely taking on a lot more high street travel agents, bigger brands that you would know about. They're all being signed off at the moment. They're seeing the value of PTS. And the other area that we're really growing is for our independent travel professionals. So home workers, yes, you could call them that, but fundamentally we only take on experienced people. We don't offer academies. That's definitely a saturated market, but there's some fantastic models out there. But for us, we don't take any cut in commission. We're a scaffolding system. So people have to be experienced to join PTS. And so for the amount of redundancies being made in the industry at the moment, that's something that you're going to see us about for a lot, for the marketing of going, look, if you already have travel experience to the level that a lot of these people do, and they want to set up and sell travel, because in fairness, I do believe that travel will always be in demand. It's going to be. I'm watching what's happening with bookings for 2021. So for those people, that's definitely an area that you will see us growing in. But it's, to be honest, the biggest area we're growing with is just by size, by services that we already offer for tour operators and travel agents.
Cool. So the marketing plan is same services, bigger market.
Yeah, absolutely. And also really you'll see us more for PTS Solo, which is really for the people who want to work from home independently and have their own travel business. And those people are coming on thick and fast. So that's good.
Well, Jacqui, thank you very much for your time. I wish you you and your colleagues the very best of luck. I don't think you need luck. You just need time, probably, to get your thing out there, to get the brand recognised even more than it is now. And well done for doing a good job. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Graham. Thank you for your time.
Okay, see you later. Bye.
Bye.